Good morning, YouTube. Who was I kidding to think I would not be able to vlog this super important day of my life? I'm so excited. I'm a little bit nervous, but this day has been 15 years in the making. Alrighty. 15.5 years ago, I purchased the house that I live in today at 20 years old. I really knew nothing about real estate. I knew that I was paying more in rent than what I could buy a property for, and set out to buy my first house. While I was writing the real estate contract, the broker at the company looked at me and said, "Have you ever thought about selling real estate?" And I told her, no, the thought really never occurred to me, but I do really like to sell things. I could sell you anything at a yard sale. And she said, "I think you could sell the yard. I think you should really consider getting into real estate." And she just complimented me in several different ways and then told me that she really wanted me to look into taking real estate classes. Well, I closed on this house. I closed on this house actually a couple days before my 21st birthday. And then I set out looking at taking real estate classes. My oldest son, who is now 15, was 3 days old when we moved into this house, and I decided to take my real estate classes online. I took my sweet precious time and enjoyed that first year of his life, and I took what, you know, some people could probably take those courses in a couple weeks, and I took 9 months, took my time, took those courses online, went and sat for the test, and I became a real estate agent at 21 years old. Being a real estate agent and later a realtor afforded me a lot of freedom in my son's childhood. I was always able to coach all of the sports. I was always able to go to all of the class parties. Now that did mean working some extra weekends where a regular 9-to-5 job maybe I wouldn't have had to. It did mean meeting people at 8 o'clock at night sometimes because they needed to write up a contract or see a house, but it also enabled me to take off and take vacation when we wanted to. A lot of the things that drew me to reselling and to being a content creator on YouTube were the same things that drew me to real estate. And for the past 15 years, real estate has served me and has served my family so well. I have been able to make a strong career out of real estate, but, and here's the but, to everything there is a season, am I right? And this season of my life of selling houses and being a realtor is over and has been replaced for some time now by reselling and by creating content for YouTube. Initially, reselling and real estate went really well together because both are self-employed. You get to make your own hours, and I was able to dabble in reselling while I was still making a living as a realtor. I even accidentally received an award as one of the top producing agents 2 years ago working in my basement. But I can tell you last year that when that phone rang about real estate, my heart wasn't in it. And I just felt like that was no longer fair to any customer or client that I could come across. And moreover, it wasn't fair to me because I think you owe it to yourself to follow your passions. I think you owe it to yourself to follow your dreams and to feel that pitter patter when you think about how you're spending your life. You know that feeling you get when you find a bolo or a bucket list thrifting item and your heart just pounds and you're like, eek, and you want to scream out loud in the thrift store? That is the feeling that real estate used to give me. But now that has been replaced by the hunt for Chanel at Hermes, and by telling people how they can also do the same thing working from home and have this freedom in working for themselves online as a reseller. That is what makes my heart go pitter patter today. So for that reason, I made a really big decision. I talked with my broker this week and we both decided that it's time that I hang up my real estate hat and go referral only. I decided not to place my license as inactive, but rather I will keep it active on a referral only basis. If I get a phone call or a text message or an email about real estate, I'll refer it to one of my friends in the business because I still love the company that I spent 15 years with. I only ever worked with one brokerage, and those agents that I worked with over 15 years have become my family. So to walk away from the business entirely, I guess I'm just not ready for it. But I'm no longer showing houses. I'm no longer listing property. For the first time in 15 years, if someone wants to buy a house, I'm not going to sell them one. So I have 3 closings today that I'm really looking forward to because, well, I guess they're my last closings. Yes, the door is always open, as it is with any reseller or content creator, you know, with a job that you left. I guess you could always go back to that, but I'm not looking behind me. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to what reselling is going to do this year. I'm looking forward to what YouTube is going to do this year. It's been a long time since I've been so excited, not about making money, but about the way I'm spending my time. You could produce a paycheck doing a lot of different things, but to produce content that has the power to change people's lives, to me, that's the way I want to spend my life. So I'm really proud and happy to announce today that I've made this big decision. If you ask me if I'm a realtor, I will tell you I don't practice. So if real estate has been such a part of my identity for 15 years, how do I introduce myself now? Hi, my name is Rachel Strickland. I sell vintage and designer clothing and hard goods internationally online, and I make YouTube videos telling other people how to do the same. Here goes, you guys. Let's go to closing. Oh guys, there is no way that I'm gonna go to my last closing without a bottle of champagne for these buyers. I am at Walgreens about to go in and get some champagne. Come on, you know I got a bottle for me too. We'll put this over here, and it's so cold today, it'll probably be chilled by the time that I'm out of my closing. I got my signature pink ribbon to tie around the champagne as well, so here we go. Oh my gosh, I love it. That was so bittersweet, and most of today has been bittersweet, and that's really why I wanted to share it with you guys today, because decisions like this don't come easy. Decisions like this, like, they're heart-aching decisions sometimes. And maybe you've been contemplating forging a new path. Like today had me really in the feels this morning. I listened to Moana, How Far I'll Go, and I listened to like the soundtrack to Frozen 2. Like when Elsa is screaming into the unknown, that's how I felt walking out of that closing room today. And maybe you're surrounded by a lot of people that don't see your vision. Let me tell you that I had to tell a room of grown adults today in my tiny little town where some people don't even have a YouTube account, let alone does anyone have a YouTube channel. I had to tell a room full of grown adults that I was leaving the world of real estate to pursue reselling and YouTube 100% full time. They looked at me like I needed a custodial caregiver. I can tell you there are very few people around here that understand and see my vision with me, but that's okay. I see my vision. My husband, who is always the real MVP, sees my vision. My kids see my vision. The support system I have, be it small or large, they're rock stars, and they cheerlead me and tell me all the time that I'm capable, and they believe in me. I know that Drew is my #1 cheerleader and motivator. Recently, Abel's Treasures interviewed us, and I'll link that interview down in the description if you guys would like to take a look. But that was one of the questions that Abel was asking Drew, was how did you know that you could do your own business, like that you could start your own business? And Drew was just talking about how I encouraged him, and I always made him believe that he could. So Drew, I know that you're watching this, and thank you again for helping me to make such a monumental step in our future, and for holding my hand through this decision and helping me to understand that it's 100% the right one. I just see really big things, you guys, and I am so excited about the direction that YouTube is going right now. I am so excited about the direction reselling is going right now, and I just know that if this year I give it 100%, I can only imagine what next year will look like. And so I don't want to look back and think that I left anything in the tank. 100% cutting out all other distractions. Let's treat our business like our business.
Alrighty.